And as astronauts build the Chinese space station back on Earth, there are reports of a leak at the Chinese nuclear plant. Fuel rods at the Taishan nuclear plant were damaged. Beijing denies that there was any radiation leak from the reactors, but two French companies that operate this nuclear plant have raised a red flag. Our next report gets you all the details.
Was it a leak or a false alarm? For almost a week, there is still suspense around what happened at the Taishan nuclear power plant. In China's Guangdong province, Beijing is denying claims of a radiation leak.
Currently, the situation at Taishan nuclear power plant meets the technical specification requirements, and the levels of radiation in the environment surrounding the nuclear power plant have shown no signs of abnormality. Safety is guaranteed.
But after 18 months of a deadly pandemic, the world knows better than to take Chinese assurances at face value. Red flag number one. When the incident happened at the nuclear plant, it wasn't China that told the world about it. The warning came from two French companies, Framatome and EDF. They were involved in building this nuclear plant. They also helped the Chinese in its operations. Reports say that on Monday, both the French companies acknowledged that some difficulties had occurred while operating the first reactor. About 5 uranium fuel rods were damaged. Apparently, the French operators directly alerted America first. They warned the US about an imminent radiological threat, a suggestion that Chinese authorities had raised the acceptable limits of radiation for the plant and its surrounding areas. Experts believe that the move by the French operators was an indication of how serious the damage could have been and their lack of trust in Chinese regulators. China's National Nuclear Safety Administration, or NNSA, has been silent about this. Reports claim no records of the incident at Taishan have been found. The plant's main operator, the China General Nuclear Power Corp, hasn't said anything so far. It claims that the environmental indicators in and around the plant are normal. This silence has only raised more questions for the Chinese state to answer. Safety experts have always been worried about China's rush to build more nuclear power plants. China now has 49 nuclear reactors in operation, and 17 more are under construction. Nuclear power provides just 2% of China's electrical power for now. In future, Beijing wants to make nuclear reactors its primary source of electricity, but it doesn't want to commit to transparency. The incident at Taishan wasn't a Chernobyl, but the world should be worried by the silence of these Chinese regulators. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
On 9th of June, US President Joe Biden overturned a Trump-era ban on Chinese apps like TikTok and WeChat and instead put a stronger review method in place which will protect personnel and business data of Americans from getting into the hands of China or Russia. The president's new executive order is aimed at safeguarding Americans' sensitive data and will now also force some Chinese apps to take tougher measures to protect private information if they want to remain in the United States. U.S. officials fear that China could track the locations of U.S. government employees, build dossiers of personnel information for blackmail and conduct corporate espionage. In that light, the U.S. Department of Commerce may issue subpoenas to certain apps. The agency would then either negotiate conditions for the use in the US or ban these apps. This new order could end up capturing more apps than the previous Trump order because of a longer legal framework. Apps which are deemed as risky will be notified, after which they will have 30 days to either object or secure data. Given escalating tensions between Washington and Beijing, Chinese apps are most likely to be caught in the crosshairs. Apps like WeChat, TikTok, Alipay Wallet, Cam Scanner, which were targeted by the Trump administration, are also eligible for review by Biden's team. Meanwhile, apps linked to other adversaries like Iran or Venezuela are already blocked under broader sanctions. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.